Hey listeners, my name's James.
And I'm Tim. We're your hosts.
You're listening to
The Waiver Wire.
Welcome back, everyone, to the most successful fantasy basketball podcast you could ever get in your ears. This is the Waiver Wire, and I'm James, and as always, joined by my co-host Timothy over here. How you doing, Tim?
Good, mate. Yourself?
I'm fantastic, Tim. Living the dream.
Yeah, and do you know why you're fantastic?
Why?
You got a W for once.
You know what?
Don't worry.
Absolutely correct, Tim. I got my first W of the season. Bit of a comeback performance. I was losing 1-8 after day 2. But I've taken home the win 6-3, and that's handy. That is real handy for the line. I'm shooting back up into the top 4, and we'll see where we go from there. Long cute season, Tim. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
That's cute. Top 4.
Let's just say after the draft. Here's a story for you, everyone. After the draft, we all made a bet on what was going to be the reward for coming first in the league, and our friends didn't want to have a bet with me because they thought my team was too good. Turns out my team is actually trash, and everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. But,
Don't worry, we did the bet anyway.
That's how it is in fantasy. I've made some pretty nifty moves, and I'm working my way back up the rankings. So,
James, you know what's all that matters? You three are going to be buying me slabs at the end of the season.
Yeah, but Tim, from now on. Yeah, so.
Well, I already beat you, so you just have to try and get that back.
Yeah, well, I'll make it back up at the end of the year, don't worry.
James, I'm 29 and 8.
Doesn't matter, Tim. Even the biggest leads can be chased down.
My team is hot. My team is absolutely hot.
Well, do you know who is hot? Let's move on. That brings us to our first segment of the day. Our players in our teams that are hot. You can kick us off, I think, Tim.
So my team in general is hot, but just some key players who have been hot are Eric Gordon. He's been splashing them trays, hasn't he, James?
He has been. He's a superstar.
Absolutely been splashing them trays. And
he's just been just bombing those threes.
Yep. And another man who's also been bombing them threes, as you say, James, is Wilson Chandler.
He's been on fire.
Absolutely on fire. Do you know what's funny? Do you know how many leagues he's owned in? I'm going to say a stat.
How many?
58%.
That's a low ownership for someone as good as Wilson Chandler.
He's 6th man of the year.
Yeah, see, if you weren't a bloody Denver fan, I would have picked him up earlier, but...
Don't worry, I was all over that.
Yeah.
I was absolutely all over that. What about you, James? Who was hot in your team?
I actually had some pretty hot players this week. I had DeMarcus Cousins. He's been on fire, actually. I had Isaiah Thomas and Jabari Parker. Jabari Parker has just been doing it all this week. Rebounds, points, assists. And he's finally playing the role I thought he would. I mean, Giannis is pretty much the point guard of that team. And Jabari Parker's playing the full-time power forward, and he's coming into his own this year.
Just been a bit too inconsistent
beforehand, but now he's hot.
That's the only
I'm liking it. I'm liking his work.
What about who was cold for you? You usually have a lot of cold players in your team.
Well, there's one who is just
We're sorry. Your call cannot be completed as dialed.
just disconnected, Tim. He's just disconnected from everything. And that is Alan Crabb. He's just been poor. It's not a big offer. Houston was after him. A $70 million offer sheet matched by the Blazers. He's been crap.
Yeah, he hasn't been fantastic.
Yeah. I think his highest score was about 14 points this season.
Right.
So he's gone. If anyone listening is from our league is listening, anyone want Alan Crabb, it's for sale.
He's trash. Do you know who's been cold for me, James?
Who?
The only thing that Moose Monroe's been catching this week has been a cold. It's pretty drafty sitting on the bench catching DNP CDs from Jason Kidd.
Yeah, is he the first player ever? I saw this posted on Twitter actually. Is he the best quality player we've seen that's not injured or sick or as a punishment has got a DNP CD?
I would say so. You know, he's the highest paid player on the Milwaukee Bucks. And
yeah.
And Coach Jason Kidd's just like, no, you know what, Greg, I think you can sit today. And last year he was the man. I was so happy I drafted him at like pick 60. I think I got him at pick 80 or something this year. I thought I'd had another steal, but boy was I wrong. Do you know what he scored for me this week? A total of 6 points and 5 rebounds.
That's good for him, your backup center, isn't it?
Piss off.
That's handy.
James, I think he's a bit disconnected too, to be honest. He'll be disconnected from my lineup shortly.
Oh, well, I'll indulge you, Tim.
Yeah, thanks.
Sorry,
That's exactly
your
what I
call
wanted.
cannot be completed as dialed.
Greg Monroe is disconnected.
What about some general players who were just hot this week, James?
Jimmy Butler, Tim, has been high. He didn't have a great game against the Clippers, but apart from that, I think he's in daily fantasy terms. He scored about 50, I think, twice. So he's putting up stats everywhere, Tim.
He scored 60 and 70.
Yeah, exactly.
Another 50 today, I think.
Big week from him.
Yeah. For me, Mount Whiteside.
Mount Whiteside, yeah,
He's
been good.
just decided to erupt all of a
Yeah.
sudden. 18 points, 18 rebounds averaging over his last 4 games, I think it is now. That's insane. And a couple of blocks as well. That's insane numbers. Whoever drafted Mount Whiteside, you're a genius.
That's insane.
I mean, you're going to punt free throw, but he even worked in his free throw shooting, even though he stands about 3 meters behind the line. Do you know what?
It's odd, he's free, but if it works for him, I mean, go ahead.
Do you know what I don't understand? His free throws are effectively a jump shot, but yet he refuses to take a jump shot.
Yeah, I know. It's
I don't understand.
It's funny.
I really don't understand.
Well, Tim, who's our other hot player?
Dion Waiters.
What?
I didn't think I'd ever say it either.
Dion Waiters.
Dion Waiters.
You know, he's actually become like a good option in fantasy.
Yeah, he's starting for the Heat at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing well. Goran's been in and out of the lineup with injuries.
The Heat aren't that deep.
They're not deep. So he's been called upon.
He's playing well.
He's playing well.
He's filled it up.
Yeah.
Absolutely filled it up.
And just another hot player this week. I don't have him in my team. And actually, I think it was William who's been trying to get rid of him this whole time.
Who's that?
Clint Capella, Tim.
No, that was Tyler.
It was Tyler, sorry.
Tyler
my bad.
messaged us for, I think, 2 weeks straight every day. Can
Trying
I
to
do
get-
this trade?
Well, you know what, Tim? Clint Capella got 14 blocks in 3 games, I think. 14, maybe 13.
Bad luck, Tyler. You should
And
have
he
listened to us.
double 3 games in a row. Career high in points, 20. James Harden's just dishing dimes to him. He's putting that ball up and Clint Capella's going after it. D'Antoni, the issue with him was he was only playing 24 minutes. Now D'Antoni thinks he's ready to play 28 minutes a game, and they've switched it around so Clint Capella will be there for the last 6 minutes of the game, which is when everything goes down. So, I'm telling you, Tim, he's hot.
The last 6 minutes of the quarter is cooking time. I don't understand why anyone needs to be on the court apart from James Harden.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
No,
just
but that's when
cooking
he.
time.
That's when he.
Chef Harden puts
But that's
on
the
his
best
hat.
time for him to be on because Chef Harden likes to give lobs.
The lob in the jam.
Yeah, exactly. Oh me, oh my.
I hope he listens to this podcast. What's his name?
Ralph
Frank?
I don't know. Lawler's Law. We're a big fan.
Bingo! Oh, jeez.
You have to gasp for breath as you say that. Oh, bingo!
The only Clippers game I've ever listened to their commentary, and I'm never doing it again.
Tim, let's move on to the free agency options. For struggling players, we want to jettison. Who can we pick up in return?
There's actually quite a few good options on the waiver wire at the moment.
Yeah, on the waiver wire.
I was scouring, and these are just 5 options for you here. So first of all, we got Sergio Rodriguez. I think he copped a lot of jettisoning from lineups after his poor 3 games in a row. He got he did
one assist.
He did fuck all, to be honest.
Yeah.
Played a bit too much defense, I reckon. But so I think he got cut from a lot of lineups. Now he's only in 38% in a league. So if you're a fantasy basketball player, I think you should be checking your waiver wire at the moment. We've also got this is just a real roughie right here. But Marco Bellinelli.
Ooh, that's ambitious.
Do you want to know how many people have Marco Bellinelli, James?
Enlighten me, Tim.
I could count them on my fingers. That's how many people have him. He's in 3% of leagues.
That's low.
That's extremely low.
If you need 3 pointers, he's your man.
He's I don't know what he scored the other day, but him and Kemba have just decided to take over down at the
Kemba,
down
what
at
a
the
gun.
Waters.
What a gun. So, yeah, in second halves this year, Kemba has just gone ballistic, Tim. Explosions, I would say.
What would we do without the soundboard, eh,
The
Joe?
soundboard's coming in handy.
There's also 3 other options here. John Lure, James. I know you're a big
He's been
fan.
handy. I'm a big fan of the triple master from the centre position.
You know what? I don't think anybody's been on the waiver wire in the last 3 or 4 days. Looking at the percentages, John Lure is in 38% of teams.
That's low.
And Wilson
low.
Chandler's at 58%.
Also
And
low.
another man we're about to talk about, Dion Waiters, is in
Also
27% of teams. And then Maurice Harkless, who has been playing like 34 minutes a game because there's no Aminu and they trash everywhere else, is in 44% of teams.
Why is everyone picked up in our league? Why is our league so good that they pick up all these players?
Because I've got half of them.
It's annoying. Leave us alone. Because I go searching for these players and they're gone.
But
They're
I
snapped up.
I want to know what everyone's been doing, to be honest.
No,
Just look at these numbers
some
on the way.
shitty leagues, I reckon, around. If anyone has a shitty league that you want me to join and come take all your money, invite me.
Yeah, if you're the commissioner of your league, hit us up. Just kick out everyone else and we'll take over the teams and we'll fix them up. Don't worry. Make some
On your way to
trades.
competitiveness.
All right, James. We've just added something else this week. Some free agents that you may be tempted. You think, oh, that's a
How
good
is he
idea.
on the waiver wire?
Yeah, why is he still there? Don't go there.
Don't go there.
They play too much defense, James.
They play too much defense. And what do we like to say, Tim?
Do you know what defense means in fantasy basketball terms?
What does it mean, Tim?
Fuck all.
Absolutely, it means fuck all.
All right, James. Who have you got?
Stanley Johnson, Tim, for me, just hasn't been cutting the mustard.
To be honest, I don't know why you'd have him in your league in the first place. But
Fair enough. You shouldn't have got him. If 44% of teams of leagues have him,
I wonder how many people have dropped him already.
a high amount. Reggie Bullock came in the other day instead of Stanley Johnson. I don't think Stanley Johnson saw the floor until the fourth quarter. Don't even know if he did see the floor. And quite rightly, he's been terrible.
Yeah, he has.
Just been playing. He's been playing good D.
Bit of second year, but a bit of. Whenever we say good D, it just means they do. F*** all.
Yeah, it just means they're doing nothing. Good D is an excuse for them doing f*** all. Corey Brawl plays good D.
Corey Brewer just runs around. He's the greyhound for a reason. He just runs around and does nothing.
He chases the bunny, mate. But that's why he's in the. But Corey Brewer's in the team for his good D.
Yeah, absolutely.
And fuck, that's just a coach's excuse for him. He's playing shit. Leave him alone.
Yeah, pretty much.
Who's the other one, Tim? Who we got? We got some more.
Lol Deng. He's in 48% of leagues, and I was just listening to the Lakers commentary, and they said something that confirmed my worst fears for him. The Lakers may be paying him a big contract, but he's not there to score points.
He's there to do fuck all.
He's there to play good D, James.
Yeah, play good D. Sorry, he's not there to do fuck all. He's there to play good D.
Exactly.
My mistake.
No, he is there to play defense.
And be the veteran presence.
Exactly,
all
and
that
a
crap.
veteran presence. He's there to score, chip in a couple of points, grab a couple of boards, and just keep the team together.
Well, do you know what else is funny, Tim?
What?
Doing a veteran presence means in fantasy. Cool.
Gee, how many times have we said that already today?
This podcast. Cool.
Is that going to be the name?
Yeah. That's the episode name.
Absolutely. And also another person, Robert Covington.
The ill-named Big Shot Bob.
Yeah, the ill-named.
Well, I mean, Philadelphia doesn't really have the opportunities for big shots to be taken, do they?
Even though Brett Brown, did you hear what he said
What?
about Big Shot Bob?
What do you say?
He said, even though he didn't play many minutes the other night, I put him on because shooter's going to shoot. So
He doesn't take many shots. He hasn't taken many shots this year.
now I drafted Covington. I can tell you right now. That
I've got a soft spot for him.
Yeah, so have I, but he's not scored enough points.
No.
And he's in 58% of leagues right now. And do you know how many teams dropped him just today?
Oh, probably millions.
9% of teams
Millions.
have dropped him just today.
Millions. We've dropped him.
Millions. Yeah, so Big Shot Bob. Someone actually asked me, should I get Big Shot Bob? And I said no.
No, steer well clear of him, actually. Well, Tim, our favourite segment, buy low, sell high. This is what we. This
Don't
is
you
what
have a
we,
sound for that, James?
No, I don't have a sound for that actually.
What's this low budget bull?
No, this is low budget. That's what it is. If anyone wants to sponsor us and give us some money, we can buy a real soundboard. You know where to go.
Absolutely.
Just email me, the waiver wire, DM us on Twitter. I'm being serious. No, seriously, buy low, sell high, Tim. Who we buying low on? Actually, yeah, who we buying low on? You can go first.
Nikola Jokic. Another
Ooh.
Denver. So you know how I know
You piqued
everything.
my interest, Tim.
You know I know everything about Denver. He's been. A lot of Jokic owners this year have been very, very dissatisfied with him. He hasn't been putting up the numbers that anybody would have expected, really. But Mike Malone even said, don't be so harsh on him. We had a lot of injuries last season, towards the end of the year especially, and he needed to play 35 minutes a night, and he's not getting that many minutes this year. He's even moved to the bench because the Manimal has been moved into the starting lineup, and he played really well today and the day before as well, and I think he's going to start trending back upwards. So seriously, he's owned in 91% of leagues. Every single Jokic, apart from Denver supporters, owner will be dissatisfied with his numbers because they would have drafted him expecting him to put up.
Yeah, he went early in some leagues, like 30.
Yeah, they would have expected triple doubles.
Yeah.
So, honestly, you could probably trade a bucker for Jokic at the moment, and if you got Jokic, you'd be winning that trade.
Yeah,
absolutely. Because I reckon they would take that.
Yeah, probably.
To be honest, I would do that. You could buy incredibly low on Nikola Jokic.
Yeah. Alright, fair enough.
What about you, James?
Gordon Hayward missed time to start the year, and he looked good in his first 2 or 3 games back.
He did.
He was a daily fantasy favourite of ours.
He was our lock.
He was a lock, actually. But things have gone a little astray with Gordon. He injured his finger, and since then, I mean,
no good,
really.
No good.
I think against the Rockets, especially, he struggled. He played alright today against Denver. He ended up with 25 points, but it's not very efficient the way he's going about things. Just his shots off, everything's off. His passing's off. He's making a lot of turnovers. It's just not working out well for him. So I think people might be dissatisfied with Gordon's output at the moment. So I think you're actually a big chance of getting him low. You could probably someone like who I'll actually talk about a bit later, Tim Frazier. You could probably make that trade at the moment. Like, people would probably be willing to accept a trade for Tim Frazier at the moment because of his inflated stats. But do whatever you can to get him at the moment because he's going to come good. He's one of those players, he'll turn the corner soon.
Moving on, James, to players you can sell high on. Avery Bradley.
That's what we're in it for, Tim. We're in for value.
Yeah, look, I think I may have made a mistake in telling a regular tweeter of ours that to not sell high on Avery Bradley. Someone offered him Kyrie Irving, and I said no. Don't trade him for Avery Bradley there.
Jeez, I would have agreed for you for a couple of days there. There was a point where he was looking fantastic.
But yeah, even so that was maybe a week ago. He played another couple of good games, and I was happy with my decision. But now looking with Horford and Marcus Smart and Jay Crowder back, I'm not
his
so
role
sure.
is not. Yeah, it's not as guaranteed.
But did you see his numbers? 17 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists on 54% shooting.
It's still good.
That's amazing numbers.
But if you can get Kyrie,
yeah, I think that was a bad decision. I'm sorry, but
shout out to our boy, get Kyrie.
Yeah. Trying to get that trade back under wheels.
Moving on to someone else we should be selling high on. I think it's time for Tim Frazier to go on a holiday.
What the fuck, Jay?
Well, with Jrue Holiday's return, if anyone didn't get that, Tim Frazier, Jrue Holiday. Jrue Holiday's back. Oh, fuck off, Tim.
Using your soundboard against you.
Yeah, with Tim Frazier back, with Jrue Holiday back, he'll work his way into that starting point guard spot, and I think Tim Frazier will end up coming off the bench. So, with his inflated stats at the moment, you can probably secure yourself a better deal than what he's likely looking to produce in the future. I mean, his output you could make a case for keeping him. His minutes will reduce, and he'll be coming off the bench, so he'll be playing against lesser point guards. So he may produce something similar, but I think his output will still drop.
Even though he did play a really good game.
No, he did have a good
Jrue
game.
Holiday's first game back.
Yeah. But I think Jrue Holiday's going to be moving into the 30-minute range, and you can't have 2 point guards playing over 30 minutes.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's just not.
Especially with Tim Frazier not a fantastic shooter, you can't have him a shooting guard.
And Jrue Holiday's just amazing.
It's a jet.
Do you reckon New Orleans will be better now with Jrue Holiday?
Yeah.
And then if they can get Tyreek Evans back,
That'll be handy.
New look side.
Yeah. But I mean, I wish I stashed Jrue Holiday in more leagues. Still, he looks good, Tim.
Yeah, I know he does. Well, right though. He did keep himself in shape while he was.
Yeah, we were right. We
taking
told
care
you
of his wife.
on the DFS podcast and this podcast as well. Make sure you're looking at him because he is a ripper option.
If you can buy low on him.
Oh, absolutely.
Do everything you can. And this is the time, James,
It's question time.
where we answer everyone, all the users' questions, all the listeners, all the Twitter people who ask us all the questions. And we've just narrowed it down to 3 questions here today. And first of all, William asks, and I want to ask this to you, James.
You're asking me.
Well, I'll ask you, and then we'll have a discussion because I think we both have different answers on this.
Oh.
William asks, do you believe in the Otto Porter Jr. hype?
Ooh, good question, William. I could see a reason why he's playing well. He's the starting small forward. He's making that spot his own. Bradley Beal hasn't been super consistent. He's missed a lot of time. Markieff Morris is injured now. Not sure how long that'll affect him for. But he's made that small forward spot his own. He's played well this year. He showed it towards the end of last year that he could play it well, but not as well as he's playing now. I think it's unsustainable as well as he's playing right now. I just don't think he's as good as he is, like showing right now. But I still think he's a good option. I mean, I'd probably wait a bit. If you're trading for him, I'd probably wait a bit until he cools down. Eventually, like, he's going to regress to the mean at some point. I'd probably wait for that to happen before you trade for him, and you can get him at a lower value. But I think he'll still be an above-average small forward for your lineup.
Well, I'm the complete opposite. I don't believe in the hype.
Not believe in the
I
hype?
just don't think he's got it. He's a good defensive player, James. He's a very good defensive player, and I'm not
plays a lot of D.
I'm not saying that in a bad way, saying he's bad. I'm just saying that's his game style. He is a defensive first player. I mean, yeah, he'll do some good steals, some good blocks, but I just don't think he's good enough to do 15 points, a couple of rebounds, and a couple of assists. I don't think there's another small forward I would have him over.
I could probably name a few.
Like a
Well, Andre Roberson, for one. Demarai Carroll. Maybe Evan Fournier.
look, 2 out of 3 I'll give you.
Maybe.
But I'd say Otto Porter is a bottom 10 small forward, starting small forward in the league.
Probably.
Bottom 10.
Probably.
I don't think he's going to be one of the best small forwards there is, so
No, I can agree with you there.
I'd rather have Evan Fournier. Do you know, listeners, if you've been listening to this podcast since the first episode, you'll understand that I have some hatred for Trevor Ariza. Because James is a Rockets fan, and I want to see him, I don't like seeing him happy. That's not what I'm about. And just 2, because he plays a lot of D. And I think I would rather have Trevor Ariza than Otto Porter.
Does play a lot of D.
Plays a fuckload of D, James.
Well,
Even in a Houston lineup with no D,
he
Trevor
does play.
Ariza spends a lot of time playing
D.
Playing D.
Anyone does play D. Next question, Tim. John asks, shout out, John. Should I own Jamal Murray?
Good question, John. Yes.
No, John, you fucking idiot.
Yes, you should, because if you've been watching Denver games, he's closed out the last 6 minutes of every fourth quarter game,
Blowouts. Blowouts.
Yeah, he's played a lot of blowouts. We've only played in 3 blowouts, so yeah, and he's actually leading. He's not leading. He's leading all rookies in fourth quarter scoring, but he's 3rd in the league in fourth quarter scoring, and he put in a good effort today again. And in a Nuggets win, I think he put down 20 points or something. And I'm gonna make a case right now for why you should have Jamal Murray over my other favourite player, Kyle Korver.
Whoa.
Yeah, big call. I know, big call.
No, he doesn't do. Kyle, in his old age, he isn't doing a lot this year.
So, Kyle Korver, I was looking at his stat line, averages probably about 2 3-pointers a game, maybe 10 points, and you're lucky if you get anything else. You get change on rebounds, assists. That's just pluses for him. Or you have him on your end of the bench as a 3-point scorer.
Yeah.
Jamal Murray has hit at least 2 in every game, apart from his first couple of games where he was in a bit of trouble, wasn't shooting well, took him a while to get his first field goal, but now he looks set in the NBA, he looks ready to score. So he's going to make 2 3-pointers, plus he's scoring more points every night, plus he's going to get more minutes.
But Barton and Harris are going to come back.
Yeah, well, Harris is out for another 6 weeks.
I mean, you can make the case to keep him for the next 6 weeks.
Keep him for 6 weeks.
But once Harris, Barton, Chandler...
Barton's already back.
Yeah, but I'm saying Harris, Barton, Chandler are all ahead of him.
Yeah, Murray plays... Murray's point guard, shooting guard. Jimmy Nelson's a minutes will get cut.
Yeah, I guess.
He was never meant to play this many minutes.
I guess.
I reckon we're going to facilitate a trade for him to go somewhere else to get more minutes, to be honest.
Do you
But,
reckon?
yeah. We've shown that we do that with a lot of our older players. But, yeah, so Jamal Murray will get 2 3-pointers and he'll get you more rebounds, more assists for at least 6 weeks. So you can have him for 6 weeks.
You've convinced me. No, yeah, I'm just kidding. You haven't.
What do you mean? What? Who have you got on the end of you, sitting on the end of your bench?
Alan Crabb?
Would you rather have Jamal Murray?
No.
Why? As you said, Crab's been cold. Been catching them cold sitting on the bench.
He's got the flu, mate.
Yeah, instead of catching...
I wish he had the flu. Play Michael Jordan flu game. There we go. Oh. He even started. He was terrible.
Yeah, so Alan Crabb's supposed to be catching and shooting threes. All he's been catching this week is splinters from the bench.
He's got a piece of wood in his ass, mate.
Yeah, apparently.
Nah, I still wouldn't jump on him just yet. I'd probably stay away from him.
For 6 weeks, Jamal Murray. Get him. Listen to our advice, John. Chuck him in your team.
All right, Tim.
All right, we have one last question, James, from Calvin.
Shout out Calvin.
Yeah, shout out Calvin. Calvin asks, "Is Eric Gordon worth owning?"
Eric Gordon, my boy. All right. Eric Gordon is a gun.
Yeah, I have him. I'm sold already.
Yeah, absolutely.
He sold me already.
Well, there you go. Well, that was easy, guys. Thanks for joining us. No,
We just playing.
we're just playing. We got you. Eric Gordon. Patrick Beverley has returned.
Yep.
Eric Gordon has played 2 games coming off the bench. Just from my estimations, Eric Gordon's averaging 18 points, about 6 rebounds, and about 6 assists in the 2 games since Patrick Beverley was returned. And in that first game, he only played 20-odd minutes because we absolutely blew out Portland. Blew them so far they came to Australia, mate. No, maybe not.
Hey, Dame.
Well, this was always the role that Houston had intended for him. He coming on against lesser guards, but still playing with Harden. And he's realised when Harden is off the floor, he's the one that needs to be taking the shots, and he's fit that role perfectly. Just pulling up the beautiful threes and just splash everywhere you go. Just splash, splash, splash. I think he's hit maybe 6 or 7 threes in 2 games.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, he's shooting a pretty good percentage from 3. What? You'd be stupid not to get him. I mean, I would probably be willing to give up someone like Tim Frazier for Eric Gordon. Even though he's a starting point guard, I'd probably still go Tim Frazier to Eric Gordon. I'd be stoked with getting Eric Gordon back for that.
Yeah.
On my team, I'd probably trade Dame Lillard for Eric Gordon.
Piss off.
Nah.
Well, if Dame got blown to Australia, he's not playing, so you might as well.
I think someone that you've picked up in the probably the mid-30s, you could trade Jokic.
You trade Jokic for Eric Gordon.
Yep, I would do it.
I think you're dreaming, pal.
No, I'd do it. If you have a need for 3 points, I'd do it.
Jokic can shoot threes.
Yes, Tim. But I think Eric Gordon is just a fantastic option. If you can get him on your bench, that's a win. Because he's a genuine superstar. He'll probably end up averaging just under 20 points, about 5 rebounds, maybe a bit like 4 rebounds and 4 assists.
That's perfect. I've got him in my team.
That's better than a lot of.
Argue.
That's better than a lot of starters in this league.
Yeah.
Houston plays they don't even play at the higher pace, but I mean, they score so many points because James Harden's just an offensive magician that Houston just puts up numbers.
Well, you know what, James? I have to agree with you there. I like Eric Gordon, but there's one question that I didn't tell you about because I've just thought of it right now.
What is it?
It's just a question that I'm going to ask you.
At TDLE96 asks.
Yeah. Shout out to at TDLE96. He's a good. Hey, he makes a good podcast. Have you heard it?
Username.
Piss off. It's better than James Aaliyah with 3 A's.
It just came to me in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Dream.
Anyway, my question is, would you rather have, coming off your bench, Eric Gordon or Wilson Chandler?
Tim, I'm not prepared to answer such heat on this podcast. That's like divisive. Wilson Chandler has been fantastic.
Absolutely has. Can you imagine the numbers he'd be putting up if he played last year?
I mean, yeah, I know. I mean, Eric Gordon probably just sneaks home.
No.
Because-
no way.
Because the Rockets are going to be getting W's, Tim. I mean, all the Rockets do is win.
All I do is win, no matter what.
And I think, as you said, with Wilson Chandler, there's going to be Jamal Murray, Will Barton, Gary Harris, Danilo Gallinari, all players who fill up his spot. And Eric Gordon has a cemented role as the sixth man off the bench. He'll be sixth man of the year, I'm telling you right now.
I was just about
Statement off the podcast, Eric Gordon is sixth man of the year.
You want to have a bet?
Well, let's have a bet.
Wilson Chandler will rank higher up because I'm not sure if we'll win sixth man of the year. Jamal Crawford sends out some really nice gift baskets, I've heard.
Yeah, I've heard from inside sources, Yahoo sources report.
Yeah.
He sends out nice gift baskets to Woj.
And to Chris Marlowe and all the other commentators.
Yeah.
But Wilson Chandler will be higher up in the six-man rankings than Eric Gordon.
All right, Tim. If Eric Gordon ranks higher and he's sixth man of the year, you have to give me $100. That's a win. Like, that's guaranteed money. Let's go to Crown with that money.
Take it to the Cass.
Take it to the Cass.
Look, Wilson Chandler is 10 times better than Eric Gordon. That's a lie. He's not 10 times better. He's better. I would rather have Wilson Chandler than Eric Gordon. What? Is Eric Gordon in...
Is that a smell of a bet? We're putting this to the listeners, Tim.
Absolutely.
We're putting this to the listeners. This is going to be
because we're not going to decide
No,
otherwise.
because we're just going to argue for... This podcast will go for an hour if we could... Do you know what our next episode should just be? Eric Gordon versus Wilson Chandler. Just an hour of argument.
Yeah. We could argue for ages.
I'll tell you to shreds, man.
No, you won't.
I'm like the Floyd Mayweather of arguing.
What?
Really good.
You just down.
Undefeated.
We lost 3 times, but
Did he? Oh, well. Shows how much I know about boxing.
I don't even know if you lost.
I'll stick to fantasy basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. We will. That's why we run a podcast.
Well, this is going to the listeners, Tim.
No.
We'll report back next week with results.
So, you know what, James? Let's make this a competition, actually.
It's a competition, is it?
So, just to make sure that we have some good, a good spread of votes, so it's not just like, 30 votes or whatever, we'll put this vote out for a week. So it'll end just before we do the next podcast. And
If you could all retweet it, and we can get a good sample size.
we'll pick one lucky person who retweets and likes
And follows us.
and follows us already, or does choose to become a new follower. We'll give them our lineups for 2 days.
2 days. Not
2
just
days.
one.
Not just one. 2
2
days.
days.
And if you like
300 plus points of DFS coming up.
exactly
2 days in a
2
row.
days in a row, you can have our lineups.
That's free money.
There you go.
It is just free money.
It's free money. So just make sure you jump on that poll as soon as we put it up. It'll be put up straight away, don't worry. And Wilson Chandler better be winning.
You're a fool.
I think that wraps it up, James.
That wraps it up. I'm sick of you now. I can't believe you would diss Eric Gordon like that. Well, guys.
James Harden isn't the true game winner. Gee, you better wrap up this podcast before you kill me, man.
Tim, I'm so... Whew, you want to catch these hands?
Well, am I gonna?
Tim, wrap this up. I can't speak. I'm too angry. I can't speak.
You're gonna catch bodies like
Tim,
Brandon Jennings.
I can't speak.
All right, thanks for tuning in, guys. Russell Westbrook is better than James Harden, is proven here. Tune in for the DFS podcast coming in probably 2 or 3 days.
You probably won't be alive.
Yeah, it might be James by himself. Who knows? Thanks as always, James, for coming in.
It wasn't a pleasure, really. I mean, no more James Harden slander. I will not be tolerated.
Hashtag James. Steph Curry is the real chef. All right, thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.